that is we can compile using can use for the purpose of compiler, but in Java these are the two ways we can use. So one is because we want to first compile and after that we can use interpreter. So that is called as what? Java is very high performance language. So here we also interpreted the code, and first we compile the code and after that interpreted the code. So that is called as what? Java bytecode will be converted that code into native code. Okay. So that's why it is a high performance. And another one here we see, so it is still a little bit slower than the compiled programming language like C++. But in C and C++, this is a high performance language, but Java is a little bit slow than C and C++ because Java is an interpreted language. That is why it is slower than the compiled language. So here is two stages. First we can compile and after that we can interpret it. So that's why here slower than other programming language C and C++. Okay, so that's why it is called as high performance. And another one, it is feature is distributed. So Java is to create distributed application in Java. So here is one feature in Java that is called as RMI. It is known as remote method invocation. And another one feature that is called EJB. It is known as enterprise Java beans. These are two features we can use for the creating distributed applications using through Java programming languages. So when we develop large programs, when we develop large applications, then we use these two types of applications. One is RMI and another one is EJB. So RMI it is for remote method invocation and EJB it is used for enterprise Java beans. So that's why it is a distributed programming language. Java is a distributed programming language. So mainly this feature of Java, it makes us able to access files by calling the methods from any machines of the internet. So here we can see, that's why it is called a distributed programming language. So next one feature that is called as a multi-threaded. So multi means what? Here we can use more than two threads at a time. So that is called as a multi-threaded. So simply we can say that a thread is like a separate program and we can execute concurrently. We can simultaneously execute one or more programs. So that is called as a multi-threading. So here we can write Java programs that deal with the many tasks at once by defining the multiple threads. So the main advantage of multi-threading is that it does not occupy the memory for each thread. So once they can concurrently execute all the threads. So that is called as a simultaneously or concurrently we can execute the many threads. So it's there the common memory area. So threads are important for many features like multimedia, web application. There we can use this type of feature that is called as multi-threaded. So another one feature is important as purpose of Java, that is called as a dynamic. So here Java is a dynamic language and it supports the dynamic loading of the classes. It means classes are loaded on the demand, and here it also supports the functions of its native languages, that is called as C and C++. So Java support dynamic compilations and automatic memory management, that is called as a garbage collection. So we already know why use garbage collection, because here suppose we does not use any object or any unoccupied memory, so that memory will be automatically collected from the memory management. So that is the feature is called as garbage collection. So that's why Java is dynamic. Okay, so it is very important feature in Java programming languages. So here we can classes are loaded on the demand. If you want to use, then we load that particular classes. If you want to use some particular functions from the native languages like C and C++, then we use this type of features. So that's where we can dynamically compilation feature we can use, and automatically memory management here done using through the GC method that is called as garbage collection. So these are the features. So that's why Java is very popular in the market. Okay, so let us see another one important next bit that is called as difference between C++ and Java virtual machine. So there are many differences and similarities between the C++ programming languages and Java languages. So there are n number of comparison. We can see one by one. So why Java is popular than C++, or here we see the point-wise difference between C++ and Java programming languages. So here we create three columns. One is for comparison purposes, another one for C++, and another one for Java programming languages. So here we use some comparisons for C++ and Java programming languages, and here we use that particular points where Java is deeper than the C++. Suppose here we see at the first point that is called as platform independent. Okay, I already seen that Java is platform independent, but C++ and C, these are the platform dependent languages, because they want to need to run a particular specific OS. That's why it is platform dependent. But Java supports any operating system. So Java supports multiple operating system, and Java does not need particular files. So they can run anywhere. Okay, so that's why Java is a platform independent. After that, here we use the comparison, mainly used for C++, for the purpose of system programming designing. But in Java, we can use it is mainly creating for the application programming. So it is widely used in the window-based application solution, used for web-based application, enterprise application. So here in Java, we can use for four types of applications we want to create using the Java programming language. But in C++, we can only use system programming. Okay. So here we see the design goal of the C++. It is mainly design goal of the C++ system and application programming will be created. So it was an extension of the C programming languages. It is C++. But in Java was designed and created as it is an interpreter for printing systems, but later extended as a support network computing, and it was designed to be easy to use and accessible to a broader audience. And now it will be used in n number of areas where Java is their goals are occupied. Okay, next one, here we see the C++ supports the goto statement, but Java does not support the goto statement. We already seen, you already learned in the C programming language goto statement, that is called a jump statement. So it is used for the jumping purposes, that is for the labeled purposes. So here Java does not support the goto statement. So this is another one difference here. So let us see another differences here will be continued. So in Java, the multiple inheritance does not support, but in C++ supports the multiple inheritance, but Java does not support the multiple inheritance through the classes. But we can achieve these features using through the interface in Java, and instead of multiple inheritance in Java, we can use interfaces. So we can achieve these features using the interfaces. Another one feature you can see here in C++, we support the operator overloading features, but in Java does not support the operator overloading. So we does not overload the some operators using in Java, but C++ we can use operating overloading, but in Java does not use. Next one, that is called as in C++, the main will be used pointers. So C++ supports pointers. You can write a pointer program in C++. because C++ supports the pointers, but Java does not support pointer internally. However, we can't write the pointers program in Java. It means Java has restricted pointer supports in Java. So specifically in Java does not use pointers. So, but in C++ we can use pointers. And in C++, we already learned yesterday lecture and tomorrow lecture also. C++ supports only compiler, but Java supports both compiler and interpreter. So in C++ is compiled and run using the compiler, which converts the source code into machine code. That is called as machine code. So C++ is platform dependent. That's why. But in Java supports both a compiler and the interpreter. So here Java source code is converted into bytecode. Okay. So first one Java source code is converted into bytecode at the compilation time, and after that at the interpreter time it executes the bytecode at runtime and it produces the output that is called as machine code. So here Java is interpreted. That's why it is a platform independent. Okay. So you all of you, this point is very important. Learn that is a very important point because Java supports both. Okay, one is a compiler base and another one is interpreter base. So that's why it is slower than the C and C++ programming languages. Because C and C++ we can directly compile the program and we can convert it into machine code. That source code will be converted to machine code. But Java, first it compiles and that code will be converted into bytecode. And bytecode does not readable the machine code. So that's why it is interpreted bytecode, and that bytecode will be converted into machine code using through the interpreter. So that's why it is two-stage Java programming languages. And next feature that is called as call by value and call by reference. And C++ supports the both features, call by value and call by reference. But in Java supports only call by value. So there is no call by reference in Java because it does not use the pointer features. That's why Java does not support the call by reference features. Another one, some important comparison. We see in C++. In C++, supports structures and union features, but Java does not support structures and union features. Okay, so does not use these features, structures and unions, Java programming languages. So in C++, does not have built-in supports for threads. It relies on third-party libraries for the thread supports. Okay, Java has built-in thread supports, but in C++ does not have built-in supports for the threads. So, but we support in C++ using the third-party libraries, and then we use this type of features, that is thread. But Java is a built-in facility that is called as thread. So we can support multi-thread facility using the Java programming languages. Next one, comparison in C++, that is called as a documentation comment. So we already, you all have to learn in C and CPP programming. C and CPP programming supports two types of comments. That is, one is single line comment, another one is multi-line comments. Okay. So, but in Java, we another one comment line supports, that is called as documentation comments. So it uses forward slash, and after that we use two stars, and after that we can complete stars and slashes. So it creates the documentation for the Java. So that is called as documents comment. So it is used for the purpose of large projects. There we write for the project status, where we start and where we now come, where what is the remaining work. So that all type of work will be written through the documentation commit in Java programming languages. So last one feature as a comparison, that is called as virtual keyword. So here C++ supports a virtual keyword, so that we can decide whether or not to be override a function. But we can use virtual keyword for the purpose of the overridden purpose, and we can use also in C++ that is called a pure virtual function. But Java has no virtual keyword, so we can override all the non-static methods by defaultly. So in other words, we can say that non-static methods are virtual by default in Java programming languages. So simply we can say that C++ supports virtual keyword, but Java does not support the virtual keyword. Means there is no virtual keyword. So, but we can imply the virtual keyword. We can override the non-static. That is, in the other we can say that non-static methods are virtual by default. Okay. So some another features in C++ that is called as C++ does not support unsigned right shift operator. Okay. C++ does not support unsigned right shift operator. But in Java, unsigned right shift operator that fills the zero at the top for the negative numbers. So positive numbers it works same like as the operator. So right shift operator we can use here. Okay. And another one important feature in the inheritance concept we can use in the C++. So C++ always creates a new inheritance tree structure in C++, but Java always uses a single inheritance tree because all classes are the child of the object class in Java. So here is important points here. Keep it in mind. Java always uses a single inheritance tree structure because all classes are the child of the object class in Java programming languages. So here mainly the object class is the root of the inheritance tree in Java programming languages. Okay. So here we use another one important part in C++. C++ is nearer to the hardware, but Java is not so interactive with the hardware. So Java is 80% work will be depend on the software code. Okay, and after that 20% will be depend on the hardware code. Okay, so next one here we use C++. That is feature is called as object-oriented language. However, in the C language, a single root hierarchy is not possible because C++ supports object-oriented language. So this feature we does not use in the C languages, but Java also supports pure object-oriented concepts. However, everything is an object in Java programming language. That's why it is called as a pure object-oriented programming language. So it is a single root hierarchy as everything gets derived from the that is package name as java.lang package, and in this lang package we can use java.lang.object. Okay, so these are the features is in comparison between C++ and Java. Okay, so here one important note that is called as Java does not support default argument like C++. Okay, so when we use in functions, we pass the default arguments, but Java does not support the default argument like C++, and Java does not support header files like C++. Instead of header files, we use in the Java that is called as import files. Java uses the import keyword instead of including the C++ and C programming languages. So here we import the packages using through the Java library. Okay, so here we use import keyword for the including different types of packages here. Okay, so these are the mainly differences the C++ and Java programming languages. Suppose here we see one simple example using through the CPP. So as a purpose of difference between C++
कशाला
and
बाबा?
Java. Here we see the first one example using through the C++ programming languages. So when we write the code in C++, then we start with the command line. After that, here we want to include the two preprocessor directories. That is called as one is iostream.h, and another one here we include the preprocessor directory that is called as conio.h. So console input output.h here we added. So you already know, if you want to use, then we use namespaces. Otherwise, we does not use namespaces. Does not compulsory or use the namespaces. But we want to choose the namespaces for the particular purpose of the student. Okay, so that's why we can use namespaces. And suppose we want to here use, we use uh, we want to print any statement in C++ programming languages, then we use cout. So in this cout, we want here display the content that is called as hello C++ programming, and here we use main method. It is the return type of integer, so that's why here we use return 0. And when we execute this program, and this program will be display the output hello C++ programming. Suppose only this much of code we want to display using through the Java programming languages. We want to use a first command line. After that, we want to add two import packages, and after that we use a class name, and after that we use here a main method, and in this main method we want to use some methods for the purpose of display the outputs, and after that we compile, and after that we execute the program using through the interpreter. So let us see the difference in Java programming languages. Okay, so already I told first we return the first line called as a comment. So here we return the comment. So after we return here two import packages. One is java.io.star.semicolon. So that's mean here we import one package that is called as IO package, and IO means input and output. Okay, so star means we want to add everything within that packages. Okay, all classes we can add here, and after that here we use another one package that is called as import java.lang package. So in this lang package we can add all the classes and interfaces available in these packages. Okay, after that here we create one class that is called as here we use class is simple. Okay, so here is one rule in Java programming language: class name and file name must be same. So that's why here we save this file as a simple.java programming language. So after that here we use main method, but this main method by defaultly in Java it is in the public and it is in the static. So here we use static void main, and by default everything will be in the Java, it will be string. So that's why we use string arguments, and here we use the array of the arguments. Okay. So after that here we want to display the output, so that's why we can use here system.out.println, and system for the system that is called OS, and we want to out, we want to display. So we can here display the that is called as println statement. So we want to here use the display method. Okay, so we want to here display, and after that in the println method we can display hello Java. We want to display, and after that we close here main method and we close here class. So when we execute this program, first we compile the program, and after that we run this code. Okay, first we compile the program, after we run this code. So here we compile name of the file javac, and file name will be simple.java, And if you want the interpreter, then we use Java dot name of the file, that will be simple. So when we execute this code will be displayed the output hello Java. So this much of output will be displayed using through this type of program. So how they will deal, we will see in the next lecture. Okay. So आज आपण बऱ्यापैकी सगळे फीचर्स सगळे संपवलेले आहे. फीचर संपून डिफरन्स बिटवीन C++ आणि जावा हे बघितलेलं आहे. ओके. मागील 3 लेक्चर मध्ये आपण जावाची हिस्ट्री बघितलं, त्याच्यानंतर जावाचे काही फीचर्स बघितलेले आहे, त्याच्यानंतर आज आपण C++ आणि जावाचे फीचर डिफरन्शिएट केलं, आणि आता आपण प्रोग्राम कशा पद्धतीने डिफरन्शिएट करता येते हे पण बघितलेलं आहे. उद्याच्या लेक्चर
घेत नाही बरं.
ते घेत नाही.
न्यूमेरिकलचे 6 द्या.